Part 3, The Starlight Reckoning, Segment 7, The Light That Binds. The Gulfstream G650 pierced the night sky at 40,000 feet. Its engines a steady roar as it streaked south from Alaska's frozen wilderness toward Palo Alto, California, 3,500 miles away. The cabin glowed faintly with the muted light of the Starlight engine. Now draped in a tarp and secured in the cargo hold, its hum a quiet heartbeat threading through the silence. The clock ticked past 11:45 p.m. on Tuesday, October 26, 2025. The coalition's midnight deadline a ghost in their wake. Defeated in the vault, yet lingering in the shadow of Dr. Leonard Voss's escape with a fragment of the engine's crystal heart. The temperature outside plunged to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, but inside, the air was warm, heavy with exhaustion, triumph, and an unspoken question. What now? Elon Musk sat at the controls, his bloodied arm bandaged with a strip torn from his shirt, his sharp gray eyes fixed on the horizon. The grays from the Alaskan battle stung, but his mind was elsewhere. On the engine, its infinite potential, the signal it had broadcast to SpaceX and beyond. His $200 billion empire felt small against Joshua Haldeman's $50,000 dream, a legacy that could rewrite the world or burn it down. He glanced at the co-pilot seat, empty now, and felt the weight of his father's absence, a man he'd never known, yet whose blood drove him forward. Mae Musk sat near the rear, her cream coat draped over her shoulders, her blonde gray hair loose and tangled. She clutched Joshua's journals, their leather covers worn from her touch, and her green eyes glistened with unshed tears. The fight in the vault, her tackle of Voss, her scream of Joshua's, had drained her, but it had also rekindled something. A widow's strength, a mother's hope. Beside her, Evelyn Carter leaned on her steel rod, her 78-year-old frame slumped but unbroken. Her white hair framed a face etched with 54 years of solitude, her ember-like eyes tracing the tarp as if she could see the engine beneath. She'd guarded it on a $200 pension, and now, reunited with Mae and meeting Elon, she felt the past and present collide. Clara rested across the aisle, her head against Jolie's shoulder, her injured arm cradled in its sling. Blood stained her $50 coat, the fabric torn from her fall, and her auburn hair clung to her pale, freckled face. She was stable but weak, her breath shallow as she slept, the toll of the battle etched in her stillness. The Corps' case sat empty at her feet, its purpose fulfilled, and her quiet plea, keep it for hope, not war, echoed in the cabin, a fragile thread binding them. Jolie, 85 and frail, sat upright despite the ache in her bones, her cane propped beside her, her arthritic hands folded around Joshua's $5 photograph. The engine's glow seeped through the tarp, casting flecks of light across her silver curls, and her dark eyes shimmered with a mix of pride and weariness. She'd faced Voss, swung her cane, spoken the code that turned the tide. Stars guide home, and in doing so, claimed her place as the keeper of Joshua's heart. Her $25,000 life, once invisible, had held the stars, but the cost weighed on her. Clara's wounds, Elon's blood, the fragment in Voss's hands. The jet descended, the altimeter ticking down. 10,000 feet, 5,000, 1,000, and Palo Alto's lights winked into view, a constellation of civilization against the night. The clock struck midnight as they touched down on the private airstrip at the 47-acre estate, the Gulfstream's tires hissing against the tarmac. The air outside was a balmy 60 degrees Fahrenheit, a stark contrast to Alaska's bite, and the group emerged into the garden. The engine hauled on Evelyn's sled, its tarp rustling in the breeze. Stars glittered overhead, their light reflected in the machine's faint glow, and the scent of jasmine mingled with the jet fuel's tang. Elon directed the staff, Lucia among them, her sharp eyes wide as she logged the signal's reach, to secure the engine in a reinforced shed, its hum muffled but alive. "Lock it down," he said, his voice clipped. "No one in or out until we figure this out." His hand brushed the tarp, a silent promise to his father, and he turned to the group, his face etched with resolve. "We beat them. We're home. Now we decide." Mae sank onto a bench, her journals in her lap, her breath steadying as she gazed at the stars. "Home," she echoed, her voice soft. "But it's not over, is it? Voss, he's out there, and that signal." She trailed off, her hand finding Evelyn's, their bond a lifeline through the chaos. Evelyn nodded, her rod tapping the grass. "He's got the fragment," she said, her raspy voice firm. "A piece of the starlight, enough to stir trouble, not enough to finish it, but the engine's safe for now. We've got time to breathe." Her eyes met May's, then Elon's, a scientist's caution tempered by a survivor's hope. Clara stirred, waking as Jolie brushed a hand over her hair. "Tia," she murmured, her voice weak but clear. "We did it, right? It's ours?" Her hazel eyes searched Jolie's, seeking reassurance, and Jolie smiled, a faint, trembling curve that carried decades of care. "We did, mija," Jolie said, her Spanish accent curling around the words. "It's ours. For Joshua. For you." She squeezed Clara's hand, her own trembling with the effort, and looked to the shed where the engine rested. "But it's big, this thing. Bigger than us. We've got to be wise with it." Elon joined them, his bloodied sleeve stark against the garden's calm, and knelt beside Clara. "You're safe," he said, his voice softening. "We all are. Because of you. Because of all of us." He glanced at Jolie, then May and Evelyn, a rare vulnerability in his eyes. "This isn't just tech. It's him. Dad. And it's us. What we've built together." The group fell silent, the engine's hum a quiet hymn beneath their words, a testament to forgiveness, hope, and bonds that spanned generations. The stars above seemed brighter, their light a mirror to the machine's glow, and for a moment they rested, scarred, weary, but whole. Voss's fragment loomed, a distant threat, but here, in the 47-acre garden under a 60-degree night sky, they found a fragile piece. Jolie stood, her cane tapping as she shuffled to the garden's edge, her breath fogging slightly in the cool air. She gazed upward, the stars reflecting her quiet strength, $25,000 of resilience now rekindled in their light. "We're not done, Nino," she whispered, her voice a thread to Elon, a promise to Joshua. "But we've come far." Her hand brushed the photograph in her pocket, and she felt him, his dreams, his trust, alive in the engine's hum. The piece shattered as the engine pulsed. A sudden, sharp flare beneath the tarp, its light seeping through the shed seams. A faint crackle broke the night, static hissing from a comm device on the jet, and the group froze, their eyes darting to the sound. Elon lunged for it, his bandaged arm protesting, and tapped the screen, amplifying the signal. A set of coordinates flickering into view. 64.8 degrees, 147.7 degrees, 1,000 miles east of their Alaskan vault, deep in the interior. Then a voice, faint, childlike, cutting through the static. "Grandpa said you'd come." The words hung, ethereal and chilling, a whisper from the void. The comm crackled again, and Evelyn's gasp broke the silence as she clutched her rod. "That's not Voss," she said, her voice trembling. "That's someone else." May's hand flew to her mouth, her journals slipping to the grass. "A child," she whispered, her eyes wide. Joshua's voice, he had that lilt, that softness. Her gaze locked on Elon, a mother's instinct flaring. "Who is that?" Elon's brow furrowed, his mind racing as he replayed the words. "Grandpa said you'd come." "Coordinates in Alaska," he muttered, tapping the screen. 1,000 miles east. Fairbanks, maybe further. Not the coalition, not Voss's style. He looked to Evelyn, his voice urgent. "You said Joshua had a partner. You. Was there anyone else?" Evelyn's face paled, her rod trembling as she sank onto the bench. "No one," she said, but her eyes flickered, searching memory. "After the crash, I ran, took the engine, hid. He never mentioned." She paused, her breath hitching as a journal page fluttered open at her feet. Joshua's last entry scrawled in 1971. "The starlight binds us, 3 hearts, 1 flame." She'd read it 100 times, assumed it meant her, May, and the unborn Elon. But now, 3 hearts, Jolie said, her voice cutting through the night, steady despite her frailty. She stepped forward, her cane tapping, her eyes on the shed where the engine pulsed again. Me, May, you, she nodded at Evelyn. But what if there's more? What if he left something, someone, behind? Clara sat up, wincing as she clutched her coat. A kid? She rasped, her voice faint but sharp. You're saying there's a grandkid out there, Joshua's blood? Calling us? Her hazel eyes widened, the possibility sinking in, a thread pulling them north again. Elon's fist clenched, his gaze shifting from the calm to the stars, then back to the group. If it's true, if there's family, he trailed off, the weight of it crashing through his resolve. We can't ignore it. That signal, the fragment, Voss might hear it too. May rose, her journals gathered, her voice steel. Then we go, she said, her pilot's grit resurfacing. We find them, whoever they are. Joshua's not done with us yet. Evelyn pulled a final journal from her coat, its pages brittle, and flipped to an entry dated days before the crash. The starlight binds us, 3 hearts, 1 flame. If I fall, she'll keep it, Evelyn. And the third... The words cut off, ink smeared, but a faint sketch lingered. A child's face, eyes like Elon's. She'll keep it, Evelyn whispered, tears welling. Someone did. The engine pulsed again, its light flaring through the tarp, and the comm crackled once more. A child's voice, clearer now. Grandpa said you'd come. I'm waiting. Static swallowed it, leaving the coordinates glowing. 64.8 degrees, 147.7 degrees, 1,000 miles east. Jolie gazed at the stars, her 85-year-old voice a whisper in the night. We're not done, Nino. The garden fell silent, the engine's hum a call to the horizon, and the question burned. Who carried Joshua's blood, and what reckoning awaited in Alaska's frozen expanse? The jet loomed behind them, ready, as the starlight bound them once more. Lessons from the Starlight Reckoning for life's later years. The Starlight Reckoning weaves a tale of adventure and discovery, but at its heart lie lessons that speak powerfully to those in the later chapters of life. For older readers, the story of Jolie, an 85-year-old former nanny who rises from obscurity to become the keeper of a world-changing legacy, offers a profound reminder. No life is too small to leave a mark. Jolie's journey teaches us that the quiet acts of care we've sown over decades, whether raising children, sharing stories, or simply enduring hardship, can ripple outward in ways we never imagine. As seniors, it's easy to feel the world has moved past us, that our contributions are forgotten. Yet like Jolie clutching Joshua's photograph, we carry pieces of the past that hold immense value, waiting for the right moment to shine. Resilience is another thread that runs deep. Jolie, May, and Evelyn, each weathered by time and loss, faced down Voss and the coalition not with youthful vigor, but with the strength of experience. For those of us in our golden years, this is a call to recognize the grit we've earned. Life's battles, be they financial struggles, health setbacks, or the ache of lost loved ones, have forged a quiet courage within us. The story urges us not to shrink from new challenges, even when our hands tremble or our steps falter. We, too, can swing our metaphorical canes, as Jolie did, and stand firm for what matters. Perhaps the most poignant lesson is the power of legacy over wealth or fame. Joshua's engine, a $50,000 dream, outshines Elon's billions because it's rooted in love and sacrifice. For older adults, this reframes what we leave behind. It's not about grand estates or bank accounts, but the intangible, the wisdom shared over coffee, the lullabies sung to grandchildren, the values passed down through generations. The story's final twist, a child's voice calling from Alaska, suggests that our influence endures beyond our sight, binding us to the future in unexpected ways. So, to my fellow travelers in life's twilight, let the Starlight Reckoning inspire you. Your years are not a fade-out, but a gathering of light. Embrace the small moments you've lived. They may yet guide someone home. Stand tall with the resilience you've built, knowing it's never too late to fight for what's right. And trust that your legacy, however humble, burns brighter than you know. A starlight that binds you to those who'll carry it forward. In a world that often overlooks us, we are the keepers of stories, and our time still matters.